Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. Cancer, I've already pulled out a card for you. I'm working with the Oracle of the Radiant Sun in your reading and the Steampunk Tarot. And here we have is a card that actually came out with you for you. This is your energy, which is really interesting. It is Saturn in Cancer. You could actually have Saturn in Cancer. So that maybe that is why you're here. Or anyways, let's just get into what this is looking like to me. So Saturn in Cancer is an interesting energy. This is somebody who there's a good likelihood that, now you don't have to have a Saturn in Cancer for this to be your reading though. It could be. And if you do, it's just sort of confirming things for you. But the fact that we got a Cancer card in a Cancer reading, I think kind of says it all. So this is off. I feel like that you're somebody here who's had some type of really big difficulty in like the younger years of your life and sort of like your own upbringing here. There's probably some emotional scarring that has taken place in your own upbringing and how you were raised, in feelings of a security or lack thereof in your earlier life. And you're very likely someone who is very diligent in terms of trying to maintain family security around you or in your own family. Now, it's not to say that that isn't a good thing and that people can't have that if they haven't had a rough childhood on their own. But it almost is kind of like a reflection of having had a really difficult childhood. And because of that, if you do have your own kids, there's a real strong need to want to keep things stable. There's a real desire maybe even to achieve some level of maybe physical stability. Like it could be, could be a large or a small degree of wealth so that there is always enough for everyone to go around. You don't have to worry about physical lack in a situation, because right, like, even though I'm talking about you might have some type of emotional scarring that you have carried forward in your own life from a child into an adult. A lot of times emotional scarring can comes from physical conflicts, lacks, and problems, whether that's through actual people or resources around you. So you could even be in a situation here where there might be, you might even be considering some type of charity, because dignity is another thing that is strong with this card, is a strong sense of dignity and not wanting to reach out for help. This card really gives me, it gives me real Five of Pentacles vibes, to be honest. Like this is drawing, like there's a woman here with two children, and she's moving away here. She's moving away from either an institution or a building, or maybe it's an apartment complex, maybe it's the community that she lives in, but she's moving away there and she's making some type of effort. I feel like if she's felt some type of emotional scarring here, she's trying to keep these two from getting that as well. Now, the one little kid though, his arms are out like this, like that is something that he knows, something that he's familiar with. Doesn't look like he's reaching for the angels, but the angels are. So I kind of want to say too that you are also really strongly protected by angelic forces, especially if you maybe even yourself find that you could be in between places. Like you could be in between places. You might even be feeling some sort of disparity here in terms of shelter around you as well, or just feeling emotionally and maybe emotionally and even through family isolation of some type as well. Okay, so your underline's really interesting because we have Sun in Capricorn, achievement, and then we have Mars in Aquarius, rebellion. This is kind of like, right, like this is a very physical achievement here. Sun in Capricorn, it's, it's what do you have around you and how can you build that and how much can you get around you so that you can build these things. But then Mars in Aquarius is like, it's time to have a completely different thought here. It's time to see things from a completely different angle. Now, I don't know too, like, although it doesn't really, I don't know if Saturn and Cancer, I guess you could. Let's see the book. Yeah, it talks about like a really harsh or severe environment. So that doesn't have to necessarily be like poverty. I mean, there's people who can live quite lavishly and have big expensive homes and massive incomes. But the environment that they grow up in is not necessarily very nice. Could be very, very harsh, could be very, very severe or extreme in some way. Right? And again, though, this is almost like some sort of metropolis here. There's all these people. And right, what do we see? We're seeing her moving away from something. You could be moving away from a large metropolis. You could have moved away from a large metropolis, actually, because the metropolis is in the past. You moved away from a larger city, possibly. And you really, like, you want to think about things. It's almost like trying to, and maybe even in moving. Maybe even in moving, if you've moved from like a really big city to something smaller, that you are, you're seeing things differently here. You're seeing things quite differently. So I feel like too, like, so I'm kind of talking about, you know, the energy and the circumstances that may have been a past for you, but it becomes really important for people with this placement and the energy that I'm picking up on here is to do work that they feel really good about, that they feel like that they're helping society. They may even feel like they're helping kids. Like you could end up even being like someone who wants to, maybe somebody who wants to, be, what's that called? Shit. Like fostering. Somebody who could want to foster. Like there's some type of charitability about you. That you want to help those in need because you know what it's like to be in need. You want to help those in need because you know what it's like to be in need. I also really like the dignity energies coming through for me as well, where we all know, like, you all got that hard shell and there's a lot of soft gooiness of you inside, but particularly the Saturn in Cancer is one who feels either embarrassed or uncomfortable expressing deep feelings that they have because they don't feel like it's very dignified. Like that's, you know, it's a very specific emotional trait that some Cancerians might have. This could be something that you do have here as well. And the fact that this is coming out like as a card, it feels like that this is something that you're working through or dealing with right now. What is the past here? The King of Cups, the Two of Cups, the Nine of Swords, and the Star. I feel like this, okay, this is just it. There's something about this sign placement too, like for your reading, where there could be a period here eventually where you build up a comfortable space for yourself and your family, but it can take place later in life. And I don't know if there's been a struggle here with finding people that you can connect with emotionally, sort of like in the say you can connect with them in the way that you feel like it's compatible with your own emotions here. But the Nine of Swords into the Star, there could even be a sense here of not showing your emotions. With the Nine of Swords, there may be some sort of negative thoughts around this as well. It's really interesting. I'm getting like this reading here for Cancer. So much about like your emotions and not showing them. Maybe like not feeling dignified to show them, or maybe feeling like your emotions could be weaponized against you in some way. But I feel like this is accomplishing something. Like really, really accomplishing something here. It could be Maybe you're being shown that you've done some major healing. Like you've healed some sort of early childhood trauma, late childhood trauma, mid-childhood trauma, whatever timeline that could be for you. You have healed that as well. Yeah, that's healed that with a star. To charity, let's ask that. Now, I don't know if there's somebody wanting to offer some type of help to you, or if you would like to offer some type of help to someone, but let's see the charity card. The Six of Cups, interesting. This could be some sort of charity work that you've done in the past. Is there charity work that you have done in the past here? So I don't know what that has to do with anything, but let's see. Judgment. Oh, the Ten of Wands. Oh, and the Seven of Swords. Well then, I'm saying it's from the past because it's the Six of Cups and we're talking about charity. Okay, there's two things that I see here. You were either trying to help somebody here in the past, or someone was trying to help you. I kind of feel like maybe you were trying to help someone. And in trying to help someone, you might have been wrongfully judged here. And you had to get your ass out of there. And you may have had to get your ass out of there without, like, I don't know, with the Seven of Swords, like without saying goodbye to people. Without, this is very specific. Really, really specific. It's almost like, let's say you're working at a women's shelter or something like that, or you're volunteering at a women's shelter. And you see a woman with young children, and there's like a rule or a policy that, you know, you can only give them things that are available downstairs in this room where donated clothes have been received, and there's only like 2 tickets per person. I have no idea how this works, but it sounds like, I'm sure things like that are limited to some extent, so they limit it to just, you know, the person can get 2 items of clothing or something like that. It's almost like you've got like a bin of clothing that, you know, your kids have outgrown them. You don't have, there's no use for it anymore. And like you see this woman or you see this person who's, oh, her kids would fit that perfect. You know what? I've got clothes that they'll fit them now. And in the next 6 months or so, like they'll grow into these other ones. It's almost like giving something of yourself in that way. And then somebody say, hey, no. It's like somebody getting mad at you, and then all of a sudden you have like all of this weight on you. It could even be some type of pressure. I don't know. And then it's like, you got to get out of there. You got to get out of there. You can't, you've been, okay, this feels like you face some type of judgment here in terms of how you've tried to be giving of yourself. And how you've tried to be giving of yourself, you have been judged harshly, and it looks like you might even be carrying something here that people wouldn't know about. There's something that's going on that people don't know about that you're carrying with you. It's either how something went down, like how something unfolded, how you were asked to leave, how you had to leave. Judgment. The Empress. It's kind of interesting. We're kind of talking about like a mother there. And they're, wow, the Lovers. And the Queen of Cups. Jeez Louise. I don't know who. But this is, no, this is, maybe they're, like, I don't know what this is. It's almost like this is really important to you. in whatever way you were involved in some type of a charity, this is really important to you. Or you met someone there who is really important to you. But it's really, these two cards right here, well, especially after Judgment, it just feels like left, like totally Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles, you're just gone and nobody knows where you went. It's like somebody who's asked to clean out their desk on Friday afternoon after everybody else has left. And so you leave and then you don't come back. Like, and you don't get to say goodbye to anybody. The Ten of Wands. The Six of Wands. Oh, the Ten of Swords. And the Queen of Swords. Wow. I feel like something has happened here that may have also kind of shut down your desire to be charitable or helpful to others. I think you got burned in some way here trying to help others or trying to help another person. The Seven of Swords. The Two of Swords. Almost feels like left with no choice. The Five of Cups. And the Hierophant. King of Wands and the Seven of Cups is at the bottom. Yeah, this is feeling like somebody who... Now, okay. It is feeling like somebody who's left with no choice. They've got to leave. And I don't know what the leave is. The leave could be your own home. Honestly, like really, it could be. The leaving could be your own home or something like that. Because I'm not actually getting like, well, the Hierophant is here. So it could even be a relationship. It could be a relationship. But I'm not getting like any... I'm not getting any pentacles. Like what is this around? I just see the energy of how you feel, what you've been through. How you've carried some type of betrayal. It's almost like you've been betrayed and you can't talk about it, maybe even, or there's something that you can't do. Because you're kind of left feeling disappointed here. And it feels like there's something that is bigger than you with this Hierophant. And it also feels like some type of tradition or obligation that I don't know if you stepped past a boundary or you're not allowed to step past this. That just a really interesting energy. Yeah, you're the one feeling kind of disappointed and you know, it's kind of like, it is like let's say you okay, I have like a whole scenario playing out in my head here. Okay, let's go back to like the fostering energy. You know, obviously you don't have to be someone who's a foster parent. Maybe there is one or two that are watching, and thank you. That's very good of you. But it's kind of like if you had a really rough childhood, things were really harsh for you. Maybe in that harshness, maybe there was, you know, your parents could have been split, or you may have had a parent with a dependency problem or issue, or there might have been some type of custody battle, or there was some sort of question about the ability of your parents to look after you, right? Like in some way here. So you may have ended up in a foster parent situation, or you might have been fostered, or maybe you weren't, like, and it was just difficult. And maybe you were just shuffled from neighbor to neighbor. So I feel like I'm just channeling right now. So I don't know if I'm like tapping into somebody's experience. And you deciding, you know what, I want to be someone who can help in the community. I know what it's like to be that kid, or I know what it's like to feel that way. and wanting to step up and be that person and actually doing it. And let's say, so you decide I'm going to be a foster parent, and there are, you're fostering kids of, I don't know how it works. I'm guessing you kind of, there's a certain age that you and however they vet you, decide is appropriate. I have no idea. It's probably the best way to do it, but maybe it's not. I don't know. It's probably different all over the world because you're all watching. So, all right. So let's say you're fostering and you're doing like a really good job and you are helping out here. And I don't know. It's almost like there's something, it feels like there's something that you do here that you're not supposed to. But it's like you're not supposed to, not because it isn't something that could help somebody enormously, but because, well, we can't do that for everybody. And because we can't do that for everybody, you can't do it for anyone. And even though that was really nice of you, you're out of the program. So I don't know what it is. Like maybe, I have no idea. Maybe it has something to do with money. I don't know what it would be. But it honestly, like, it looks like it's something that comes from your heart here. It's something that really, really does come from your heart. And it feels like this is great. This is like, I've done such a good thing and I'm so happy and I hope it helps. But then, I don't know. It's like, whoa, you can't do that. You're the one responsible for it. You're out of the foster program. You're this, you're that. If there was anyone that was in contact with you from the fostering, they've all been told, don't talk to Cancer. You're not supposed to talk to them. You just got, and all of a sudden you just feel like locked out. I thought I was part of this group. I don't know what happened. Yeah. Just like that. And it's like based on this charity card that came out, like it feels like it's something. And I know I've given it that theme, but it feels like it's something that really has meaning to you. Like, you don't understand. Like, I really care about doing this. This is really what I want to do. But not just, it's because you also have experience. It's almost like you also have experience in your own life. And you're like, I know what is needed here, or I know how to do this. I'm the right person for this. Oh, and so this is a really funny thing, because it is like this old guy is sitting here and telling the kids, you just sit there, you be quiet. It's almost like children should be seen and not heard, but I don't know that that's what he's doing, but I'm kind of getting like a vibe like that. And as somebody who's just disappointed here, almost feeling like, oh, what difference did I make? I don't know what it is. It's really shitty. Well, honestly, like, and it just, I hope I'm conveying it. Like, it just feels like something you give of yourself so much. You want to give of yourself so much there. And that's not wrong. Like, it's just, like, right? Like, that's how this feels too. It's like, well, in the laws of the universe, that's not wrong. There's nothing wrong with, I don't know, what went down here for you or what you did. But in some sort of societal or structural way here, oh, that's wrong. Now you're in trouble. You're out of here. You're finished. You're over. Out the door you go. But there isn't. And it could make you feel like, well, hopefully not. But I don't know. If it's something that you attach yourself to also, like there could be some sort of identity attachment that you form to something like this because it's part of your own wound. And you want to help somebody else or help others. But then you're just locked out. Like this could even be like a friend group or something, or somebody that you were trying to help and then somebody takes it all the wrong way and it's like, what? And all of a sudden you're out of the group. It just feels like you're kicked out. That's what the Seven of Swords feels like. There could also be like something going on here with, like if you were someone who has been like helping others in need, and then like something unfolds here that is not very particularly good for you, and then you find yourself as being someone who is in need, like almost needing the help of whoever you were, like the right, like, yeah, like something like that is here too. Actually, I'm going to go do the extended. In the extended, I am going to ask, how can you nurture your giving wound? And how can you feel more comfortable expressing your feelings? There's 2 options in the description below to Cancer. Thank you so much. Until next time, be gentle with yourselves. Bye.